Well, I suppose we should get into this podcast, so here we go. Welcome, everybody, to another CBC podcast. This is going to be a stacked show. It's been a week so filled with so much good news. We had to literally throw away like 15 good topics to deliver you the best topics we possibly could. Trust me, I'm totally not making that up. This is a stacked, good show. We're going to talk about all sorts of good stuff. And as always, of course, I am your host here, Armin, and I am joined by Mitch.
What's up? You can follow me on Twitter at 692tweets.
It's like a battle of attrition in the comments.
Who's going to give up first?
Yeah. Is it going to be Benny? Is it going to be Nick? John comes out of nowhere. John runs in with the chair occasionally, just levels all of them and leaves. It's just like a wrestling match.
So I'm stunned that Nick's still here, to be honest.
And just in case my audio levels are weird, we'll try to intro again. I don't know. It's been weird. There's rain outside now. I literally said 30 seconds ago, I'm like, I think it's going to rain and screw things up. So just in case, this is your host, Armin, and I'm here with Mitch.
What's up? You can follow me on Twitter at 692tweets.
Okay. That one checked out good on the thing. So I don't know. Maybe it was just because it started downpouring. See, this whole thing, man, it's a thing. But
it's like Groundhog Day, but 3 minutes.
Yes.
I'm stuck.
That's how we're doing this. So anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us for another podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a good week. We are getting that much closer to Doctor Strange 2, which I think everybody's starting to get hyped for. You know, we're seeing TV spots and everything pop up now. We're going to talk a little bit about Doctor Strange in this show. Of course, we got some members topics coming out, and we're going to have some Q&A in this. So it's a fully stacked show, I will say. So,
But how many did you steal from Nick? Is what everyone wants to know.
You know, I looked at what Nick was doing. I was like, I'm going to just steal all of it. So, welcome everybody to the Titans cast, where I will into existence the Red Hood show that nobody wants, spinning off of Titans.
Bye, everyone.
Here. All right, 3 people are really happy right now. 3 people. That's about it.
2 of them are Nick.
Yeah, it's true. So, with that in mind, thank you guys for joining us. Let's just get into our first. Kicking this off, we're going to talk about a little bit about Doctor Strange and everything going on here. But here we go. King Shark asks, could we get a video about all the rumored characters to appear in the Multiverse of Madness? And that's kind of the question here. It kind of just brings up how there's so much. Now, here's the thing. The reason this is a question and nobody's going to make a video is because it might actually be impossible to make a video because everything's been rumored. I mean,
we know John Cena's Peacemaker's in there for a fact.
John Cena's Peacemaker, Henry Cavill as Superman.
I heard he was Geralt.
It might actually be it. That's the deal. That's how like the Netflix shows went to Disney. Only if Disney agreed to put Geralt in there to give Netflix some much needed boost. So yeah, Optimus Prime. I've heard he's in there.
Knuckles.
No.
Very good timing on that one.
It's going to be just like Sonic 2, where the first time you see me, he's like, do you know the way? Oh, I couldn't believe it took like 2 minutes to get the meme out of the way.
At least they got it out of the way.
It's true. I think Jim Carrey could appear in Doctor Strange. Well,
as the Mask, definitely.
Actually, I was going to say, wait, he was there was a bunch of websites that confirmed that he was supposed to play MODOK. So, could you imagine?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Could you imagine if MODOK shows up as Jim Carrey just chewing the scenes as a giant floating head?
I think MODOK's too violent for Jim Carrey.
Oh, that's true.
No, designed only for killing it? Yeah, no, that's not Jim Carrey's wheelhouse.
That's true. They'll have to change it. I don't know what it could stand for now, but
designed only for kidding? There you go.
Designed only for Knuckles. I'll team up with Knuckles again. Yeah. See, there you go, everybody. So I don't think anybody can realistically make a film about all those because, well, let's be real. Everything's been rumored and confirmed and unconfirmed and scooped. So pick a character.
Apparently now Clear's definitely in it because the people working on it got an issue, or Doctor Strange with Clea on the cover.
Yeah. I mean, she was rumored to be in it anyway, so I guess we'll find out. So
true. Yeah,
we'll find out. Now, our first topic here: Thor: Love and Thunder. We got our best look so far, courtesy of Toy Leaks and all the packaging and everything on it. So we got a good look at pretty much all the main characters. Star-Lord now has a beard, which is really important, so they could just put a little extra stubble on his toy and resell it.
I say the Legends figure looks more like Kurt Russell than the Kurt Russell Ego figure did.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It's really weird.
But hey, we got our official look at probably the closest to final design of what both Thors are gonna look like, and
and Gore.
That's true, and Gore. Yeah. It's Toy Leaks, so again, these are sent out like a year and a half before the film comes out, and we saw the most prominent change of this when it came to Spider-Man No Way Home, where they released all the figures and Hot Toys. It's like, look at the red fingers and like gloves and everything, and then they're like, wait, nope, we changed that, and everybody's like, wait, why? It's like, and that changed like 5 months out, so obviously some changes are bound to happen by looking at these, but what's your take on this, Gore and everything else?
I mean, the Thors look like Thors.
Yep.
I still don't know what I think of the blue and the gold.
Yeah.
I have to wait until it's actually on screen to really judge it, but like it looks okay without the helmet and the arms. Then the arms and the helmet come out, and it's like,
yeah,
a little too much gold for me. But
yeah, it starts to hit that almost like ugly territory for me, where I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a bit garish.
Yeah,
garish. Like, I kind of get it. You know, it's literally the invert of Mighty Thor's armor, the silver and the red and the black. Like, it's literally just Control I on the keyboard.
Yeah.
Jane's eyes, there's still some parts of it where I wish they stuck more to the comic look than the movie Thor look.
Yeah,
that's got all those lines. Gore's whatever for me. It's a case of you either have Christian Bale or you have a naked Twi'lek running around.
It's true. Yeah.
I think the Christian Bale look might be slightly better, but
I think the only thing I've seen that people are kind of like Gore, even like I'm okay with the look and everything. Like, I don't mind it's Christian Bale's face and all that, but everybody was like, why does he have like Drax style burn tattoos on him? And I think that's the weird one. It's like, I don't. That's the one I don't like. I don't like that.
I suppose. Well, that could, it's the toy leaks are always not the final designs they use. So stuff could change, but
yeah,
I suppose it's just for texturing, just to get away from having blank white everywhere.
Yeah,
but I guess we'll find out. No.
Yeah, I mean, what works in the comics doesn't necessarily work on film, and I think Gore might be a prime example of that. So,
because I'll be honest, Gore's look in the comics isn't exactly inspired.
Not really, no.
He's just a naked man running around with a gooey thumb on, and that's literally it. Right. So okay.
He's also got the sword.
Voldemort face.
He
does have the sword. Yeah. It looks slightly different to Heather's. So
it looks like an actual sword. So.
Yeah, like a proper old, like Claymore, but slightly shorter sword.
Yeah. Which, I mean, fine. We'll see how they spin it, because obviously, the connections to the symbiotes got to be loose at best. So yeah, it is what it is.
That's if they even do that.
That's true. I don't think they honestly will in this. They'll make it something else and call it a day.
I hope they do it, but I would be surprised if they did.
Yeah, same. Well, I suppose we'll find out soon. We got the trailer coming out in the next couple weeks, so hopefully we got our best look at it yet, and then we'll talk about it.
So Thor's apparently a Ravager now?
Yeah.
Which I don't know how. I was surprised at that reveal, because it's just looking at him, it's like, of course he is. He's got the red jacket on.
Yeah.
They all wear red.
Yeah. It's
That's how
amazing
the
that
brain works
no
sometimes.
scooper was able to pick up on that or anything. We just never, nobody was like, oh,
Mm.
you guys think that's a connection? It's like, nope. All right, cool. Oh, yeah, it works.
Everyone was too busy going, it's the Thunderstrike look. It's like, yes, it is.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it's the Ravager as well.
Exactly. So there we go, guys. There we go. Here's our next piece of Q&A from Benny. And this is an interesting one. I kind of chuckled at it. I was like, man, this could have been a great, glorious disaster. So he asks, would WB be any different if Rothman ran it, since they both love throwing random crap at the wall? Now, Rothman ruined Fox's X-Men, and he went on and ruined Spider-Man. So, could you imagine if Rothman got a hold of WB's entire catalog? Man, that is...
Huh.
Could you imagine the amount of more garbage we would have gotten? Because, like, he's... Well, clearly, like, we figured, oh, no, he's figured this out with Spider-Man by working with Marvel Studios. But then you just see that was all a ploy because he's involved directly in everything they're currently doing, and it's like, useless villain films nobody wants. Like, I actually...
What do you mean Morbius is sweeping? No.
Oh, I keep forgetting. It's sweeping so hard, I keep
It's the
forgetting.
summer of Morbius, I mean, come on.
It's true. It's true.
DC would be like the #1 franchise of all time.
Oh, he totally would be the guy though. That's like, guys, who doesn't want the Cobblepot? It's like, wait, is this actually going to be a movie?
You say that we're literally getting HBO Max.
At least on HBO makes sense, but he'd be like, no, guys, $150 million CG his monocle. And it's like, wait, why? Why? That's
a fair point. Yeah.
It could be a glorious mess, but
it's still sweet.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Honestly,
No, that's a future I'd only like to peek at. I wouldn't want to live it.
No, that's one of those side universes. You just want to look over and be like, boy, you guys got it worse than we do, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Whenever you feel like you've got it rough, you just look at over there and be like, you know what? Yeah, it's so bad.
It sounds like you're just talking about WB's output in general with the everything going on with like the CW. Oh, guess what that is? Us. Yes. I finally segued into a topic correctly and wasn't a complete facepalm, but WB, DC, CW, HBO Max, everything has finally been like sold to Discovery. They officially now own it. So now comes the sweeping changes that were already implemented like the day before the actual acquisition happened. So this is
Yeah. I mean, I'm waiting for this accountability thing they've been talking about to take off.
Oh, you mean Ray Fisher? Yes.
No, Discovery says something about accountability.
Oh. Well.
So, Amber Heard gone, please? Question mark.
I was gonna say, is that maybe why the man in charge of DC Films testify against her in the opening statement and will be brought back again to testify against her?
Oh, did they actually?
Oh yeah, he straight up testified against her.
The trial.
Yep.
Right. All I've seen is bits and pieces, and it's like, oh, they're both like really scumbags.
Yeah. It's a situation that, hey, hopefully some accountability does happen. We're gonna talk more about that in one of our bonus topics, which we're gonna get into. But the thing here to me that really sticks out is we go into this week with the purchases are being finalized. 3 WB DC shows on CW have not been renewed. The people involved with them are campaigning for it. And now we just see, one of the main actors of The Flash wasn't even brought back. They just told him, yeah, go sign another show. We're probably just done. And now there's rumors The Flash is either going to be cut short and canceled early, and they're just going to put out like a mini season, or it honestly seems like it's like mercy killings even before the acquisition. And now it's
I mean, the CW would have been mercy killed a long time ago.
Yeah.
It should have stopped a long time ago. But I mean, we're here now. I can't see Discovery keeping the CW going as it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, yes, you can go, well, it does good for the CW, yeah, but it's not exactly great.
Yeah.
Like, is it worth keeping all of that around?
Is it worth keeping all this baggage around when you just acquired everything and you can go, hey guys, instead of taking the millions upon millions to develop these shows here that are cheap and only do baseline, why don't we develop something for HBO and our other outlets that's actually good? Which is why they've poured so much money into Superman and Lois, and it clearly shows, because from what we understand, everybody, including Discovery upon acquisition, were like, that Superman and Lois is good, so we're going to keep that. So, it's...
Yeah, it's one of those, I don't hear anyone talk about any of the shows.
No. They're...
Literally none of them. Maybe Superman and Lois occasionally.
Yeah.
Outside of that, no.
The CW had their heyday like 6 years ago, and then they got over, like, I don't want to say overflowing with content, but I think that's the best way to say it. Like, there was just too much, way too much happening. It's...
Yeah, too much of the same thing.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but...
I know people are going to be like, oh, but the MCU's still going, it's got so much stuff. Ooh. It's like, yeah, but there's differences between the properties. No.
Yeah. You can only have the technobabble guy technobabble.
The same thing.
Exactly. Like Batwoman slowly became the same formula, even though they started a little different. And Legends of Tomorrow, I don't know how that made it past 3 seasons. My God.
I don't know how it made it past 1, in fairness.
Once that giant CG monstrosity Atom happened, it was like, this is it. That's when I tapped out. I was done. Oh, yeah.
I can imagine a lot of the CWs.
Yeah, and it puts it in an interesting position because, like, they straight up are shooting pilots and stuff right now for Gotham Knights and that other show, like Justice something or something, with Diggle starring in it, which that I would be excited for, but it's like, that's all happening. And then the people over in charge of Superman and Lois said that by the time the new season ends, you will know how this connects or doesn't connect to the old universe. And I'm like, oh man, I think they're getting ready to just write Superman and Lois completely out. Be like, oh, we're not playing pretend in your playground anymore. Like, it's... Yeah.
Do that and get it on HBO Max.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So, when we find out what happens with this bloodbath over the course of the next 6 months to a year, which is how it's going to slowly trickle out because they don't want to drop it all at once, we'll talk about it. Make no mistake, I think CW becomes a chopping block of this is what we make an example out of, and it's going to look kind of bad, but it's unfortunate. It's at least
because what does the CW become if she hasn't got the DC shows? What else do they have?
Walker Texas Ranger, is that them? I'm not sure.
God, what year are we in with that? Jesus.
It's on its like 3rd season, I think, maybe, or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Riverdale. Yeah, Riverdale. The show that's now going to do time travel. Yeah, cool. Yeah.
What?
Jumping the shark. Yeah, Riverdale's doing time travel.
I thought that was just like a tween drama set in the real world.
It was. But then they're like, oh yeah, Sabrina's in this thing. Sabrina's now going to be in the next season. Time travel, superpowers. Yeah, we're doing the whole lot.
So that they're just going to...
It's the CW, they get bored and run out of ideas and forget that how they write stuff is extremely limited, and then they run themselves into a corner every time.
I was going to say, because they could just build up a new cinematic universe. Like, they got Charmed on there. They got Roswell, which Roswell is the only one I like out of their original shows. So, well, I suppose we'll
Supernatural still going?
If it is, like, Jensen Ackles got to be at least 78 and have 3 grandchildren at this point.
There's poor people on that show.
Yeah. Him and that Jared Pletolekli, I can't ever say his name. I think that's his name. Jared, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I thought you said Jared Leto, to be honest. So
sure, him too. He'll probably be on the CW soon enough, the way his career's going.
I mean, the girls are young enough.
Ooh! Checkmate! Did not expect that one.
I mean, it was just dangling there. It's like, oh, you know what? Easy picking.
Perfect. Well, when we see Jared Leto on there, we'll make sure we report back on how young he's acting around the young folks these days. How do you do, fellow Rivendales? Bro, aren't
How
you
many
like
of them
40?
paid like? Actually, he can't go anywhere near Dylan Sprouse because Dylan Sprouse called him out on Twitter once.
Oh, man, he's just it's a good thing he has Tron 3 to fall back on or something.
Oh. Actually, is Dylan Sprouse the one in Riverdale? Or is it the other one?
Yeah.
They look the same.
It's all the same, exactly. So, yeah, our final Q&A coming from, you guessed it, it's John. Of course, it's John. And this one stumped me for a while because I read it wrong, because I read it at like 6 a.m. and I was real tired. And he says, and asks, how long until we get a movie about the Slingers? Now, I read this about the Swingers, and I was like, what is John asking us to talk about? Like, how does this relate to anything? And then I was like, wait, the Slingers, the 4 aliases used by Spider-Man wanted for murder, and he went in and described this: Hornet, Dusk, Ricochet, and Prodigy. And I was like,
Christ.
It hit me then that I haven't thought about this since it happened in the comics and I found out about it, and I was like, I'm never going to think about it.
1998.
Yeah. So, honestly, here's the thing. The fact that Sony doesn't know about this and hasn't done it yet is telling, but chances are they will figure this out.
In fairness, you could actually do that and make it work for what Sony wants to do.
And you could. And that's the scary part of why they haven't figured it out.
You could have each villain in a different universe and then just be like, oh yeah, he's the hero going against it.
Right. Because
then you will find out they're just Peter Parkers.
And that's the thing. Like,
I'd be down for that.
I would too, because they recently said it's like, oh, there's a spider totem in every universe. Well, what if the Slingers are the totems, and then you can kind of do that? Like, that's an interesting take that I'd be willing to watch. So, yeah.
And it's obscure enough to work. You got a lot of freedom.
Yep.
And then he's be like, hey, we're all Peter Parker.
Right, like, oh, here's a bootleg Spider-Man suit, except there's a giant R on his chest, and it's Ricochet. Oh, okay, cool. All right, I'll take it. Like, it legit can work. So...
As long as in the old Tom Holland, I know they would be.
Of course they would.
Maybe one's Mark.
You
could make that work. I'd be so down for that.
Same. It's an interesting take that I think Sony's too stupid to realize that they have. So
they'd rather do Night Watch or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, Night Watch, Jackpot. You know they're going to do Screwball. God. They will 100% do Screwball.
They just got to figure it out.
Oh.
That'd be the worst thing imaginable. Screwball.
Actually, you know what? How come Sony hasn't done this clearly? Like, you know how they have that cringy TikTok feed where they have like the one woman now and she's reporting on Morbius and everybody's like, this is the worst thing I've seen. Stop, please stop. Why didn't they just make Screwball take that over with like, oh, I'm taking over with my hacking skills and now I'm reporting on everything? Like, at least that could add the character to the universe. You're like, that kind of works. It's so stupid it works, but...
I mean, in fairness, after the Morbius script, they haven't got to do anything. You know, they sold 1 trillion tickets and made all the money, so...
Oh, so sold as much as Alita Battle Angel. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
That's what the internet told me, at least, so...
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
that community died real quick.
I was actually going to say, speaking of that, it was about, like, what, a month and a half, 2 months ago, it was Alita Day, because, you know, like, when the anniversary when it came out.
No. No, I didn't know that.
Well, it's a thing. I saw one person share something, and it was good old SJ sharing a thing, wow. And I was like, of course it is, Joe. Of course it is. Come on. Alita Army. Get out of here. What a movie. What a...
The Alita Army is like the Russians. They're getting their ass kicked.
That's doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. But hey...
they severely underestimated everything.
Definitely. That's why we're underestimating Kraven next year's sweep.
Oh, God. Kraven. Oh, it's so bad.
I can just picture the opening of that trailer It's going to be Aaron Taylor Johnson doing his accent that he did in Age of Ultron. And he's going to be like, so you're craving for more Spider-Man?
No.
Oh, well, I'm here craving for the blood. It's going to be like, oh, no, please stop. Oh, I can't wait for that movie. If it's as bad as Morbius, I am hyped. I am hyped.
It's impressive that, the 3 movies Sony's had, they never started at a high bar, but it's been a very steep decline.
Yeah.
Which is impressive, to be worse than the first Venom, and then worse than the second Venom, which was worse than the first, to then be where Morbius is. It's one of the lowest second weekends in box office history.
And like second lowest Rotten Tomatoes for a comic book film ever. That's pretty damn impressive. Yeah.
Maybe Leto will finally get the hint.
No, he won't.
He's like, no, people spend $7,000 to come to my Croatian cult. Like,
yeah, that's something, Leto. That's something. Have fun. Doctor Strange, it's almost here. And guess what? We are hearing that this thing is going to be loaded with tons of surprises. Apparently, Avengers Endgame level of surprises and hype will be felt during this film. So,
I mean, if any of the leaks are true, it ain't gonna be no surprises.
Yeah,
we know everything at this point.
That's true. We don't know if they could have. To be fair, many of those leaks were all before they went in for those reshoots, so they could have shot more or changed things around. So again, there could be legit surprises none of us are expecting. I will say, I'm going into this film, I'm not expecting any surprises. Like, I got my mind set on it's just going to be variants of the characters we know. And anything else, icing on the cake for me. So,
yeah,
that's what I'm going in.
And even then, from the trailer, that's kind of what it looks like.
Exactly. So,
there's clearly a variant Iron Man. There's clearly a variant of Mordo. There's clearly a variant of Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Etc. Etc.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what people are looking for. I've seen some people, man, they're like, if the film doesn't have X, Y, and Z, I'm disappointed. I'm like, well, okay, let me tell you this. One, they're not going to put Alexis Texas from her prime in your face, so I don't know how you're expecting that, why you're judging the film on that, but it ain't happening. Like,
they need the people that play the porn parody versions as variants.
Right? Apparently, that's what some people are anticipating. Like, no, we want the wildest things here. It's like, guys, like, at this point, you want to see this film, and at the end of the film, like, I don't know, freaking the CEO of Sony walks out and hands you a PlayStation 5 for free. Like, what? Like, temper expectations.
I mean, that'd be nice.
It would be nice. Yeah. Like, temper your expectations going into this, but I understand that there's a lot of excitement. Clearly, I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and I messaged some of my casual friends just to see kind of like what their take on this. And, they saw Endgame. Of course they did. It was like a worldwide event, right? And I was like, so you guys going to be seeing the new Doctor Strange? And across the board, only one said he's very interested. And the rest were like, the rest weren't interested, not because they don't care, because they feel like they've done a bad job at selling the whole, hey, look at all these variants. And every single one of them said the reason they went and saw Spider-Man is because they knew going into it, they're like, I think I can expect the other Spideys to show up. And I will agree, them not showing Patrick Stewart, only having the voice and like the side of his head, maybe they should have just showed his face to tell people, the casuals, being like, no.
Maybe, but at the same time, do you need any more than that?
I don't, but I think some casuals honestly do.
If he's in it playing that character, which he obviously is, then you don't need to know who specifically else is going to be in this movie. You just know that at this point, anyone could be in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of... I find that odd.
I do wish they would have just had that one moment. Just like I remember the theater I was at when the first Spider-Man trailer hit, which was Shang-Chi, was the first film I experienced back in theaters, right? And the first Spider-Man trailer played, and you could tell the people there had not seen it, because, they're not on the internet. They're just like, oh. And the theater exploded when Alfred Molina showed up. Like, it was like that cheer moment. People realized, I do wish that there was something like that in Doctor Strange, just something that gets the people. And maybe still, when the film releases, they're going to have like a final, hey, here's the thing, because, they start releasing the clips and everything. Maybe they'll have a final 1.5 minute trailer that's like, here's something to get everybody. But I do kind of understand this. There's going to be a lot of surprises. I just wish they would have sold them better to the casuals. Because
I mean, in fairness, if you're going to have to do something like that, just a shot of the Illuminati in full.
Oh my God.
Just so you know, because they're clearly not the villains of the movie or anything. They're like a midway point or something like that. That's the vibe I get anyway. So you have space for other stuff. Plus, we know, you're getting all these other. There's like not Shuma Gorath, but his mama named him Shuma Gorath. That's what I'm going to call him.
Yeah.
You got what looks like Cyttorak in there, the Crimson Bands. Like, there's a ton of stuff in this movie. Like, just show the Illuminati.
Exactly.
Everyone knows Wanda's the quote villain of this movie,
right?
Or like Chthon or something like that, something along those lines.
And
but
like,
just show them.
Imagine like,
just show them.
You could even carefully not show anything, but you could have a line in there where you have Doctor Strange, he's shackled and he's looking up, and just have a cut of his face where he goes, Tony, and that's it. People would melt in their seats. You don't know who it is.
Just show the armor.
Yeah.
You just show the faceplate of it. You haven't got to see anything else. Because is it Tom Cruise? Is it not? Who knows at this point, right?
So what you do is you do a clever cut. You show the armor raising up as he's sitting there, right? And then you cut to Doctor Strange, cut back to the armor, or cut to black, have the face lifts up noise, and then him say Tony. People would melt.
Yeah.
Something like that, I think, would honestly push everybody. And maybe they're still going to do it, but I understand why they're being careful and secretive with this, because they want to keep the element of surprise. So
it's also one of those where if you don't show, like the trailer we have had that's got the Illuminati scenes in there, you had people talking for days if it was Captain Marvel, if it was Tony Stark, and so it's both of them are clearly there because the poster's got the Halla Star from Captain Marvel. And, there's the Ultron robots, and we know who made those.
Yeah,
that clearly look like the superior Iron Man armor. So it's right there. But now you get that social media engagement, and everyone talks about it for days on end. Whereas if you showed it, you kind of people are still going to talk about it, obviously, but maybe not.
But it dominates the whole conversation instead of the other moments. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, look, Marvel Studios plays the social media game and understanding everybody better than most people. Like, they are experts at this. So
yeah, and there are some people that have, they're now annoyed with all the secret keeping. It's like, if you want to know everything going into a movie, what's the point?
Yeah. Like, I love the fact that we still do this and still there's surprises that we don't anticipate or know about. It's like, that's awesome. I appreciate that. So I suppose we'll see soon enough what happens. The film's almost here. There's going to be a couple more spots that reveal things. The screenings are happening, so it's like screenings happen right before the film releases. Cool. Like, there's a lot going on. I'm excited. There's a lot of excitement to be had.
Isn't the premiere like 2 days before the worldwide release as well?
Yeah. Yep.
They're playing it crazy close, but
they are. The reviews hit the same way Morbius reviews hit. It's like, as people are going to start lining up to watch it, it's like, oof.
Just the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. You never know at this point. It could be. Ugh.
Exactly. So it could be bad for all we know. If
this movie's even remotely good after everything it's been through, fantastic.
Yeah, that's my sentiment as well. It's like, bro, this thing has been, for 6 years now, almost 7 years, it's been just a roller coaster. So crazy.
When did Doctor Strange 1 came out?
2016?
God damn, it's been 6 years.
Yeah, and they started work on the sequel before they even said the first one was out. They were already brainstorming ideas and knew what they wanted. So it's like, damn, it's been a long time. It's been a really long time.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah, right? Poor Doctor Strange. Well, that's brought us to the end of the show. I think it was good. We got 3 Q&As, 3 topics. We're going to have 2 bonus topics for members. We're going to talk about a lot. some Spider-Man stuff and some Hollywood tragedy and how Hollywood treats its actors, which is a good members topic suggested by Benny. And I was like, you know what? This is worth talking about, especially in light of everything happening with the court cases, Ezra Miller and everything. So hopefully you guys join us there. As always, we'll be back next week for another CBC podcast. And until next time, see you all later.